thanks to the support as a channel member, Eduardo Franco. Well, boys and girls, we have made it to the Premier League. This is our transfer window, and we have two jobs going into it. Job one, don't sell Rob Harley. We need to keep him. He's quite good at football. Job two, surround him with other wonder kids of similar ability so we become a super team and he doesn't ever feel the need to leave. Easy peasy. And in fact, we've got to start things off with our club vision meeting, and the club and the board just want us to attempt to avoid relegation. We'll accept that. That means that if we get relegated, I still won't get fired. So that's a nice starting point. That takes the pressure off. Bournemouth got promoted with us. Squad planning for next season. Let's have a look to see what, I mean, it's pretty clear to me from this. We need a goalkeeper. We need a left back because Rivard is a centre back, or at the very least, we need a proper option to cover for him. We probably need a big, tall Argentinian centre back to slip into this mix. We still need midfielders. I think the midfield is definitely our weak point, and we're strong in attack unless we sell Harley. Harley, we have got a lot of big clubs, and Rangers and Celtic are both in for him as well. We just need to make sure he stays. We'll get a huge amount of money for him if he goes, but obviously we want him to stay. And then maybe complement him with a couple of other attacking players to fit in around him. We've got loads of money, £41 million as a starting point, plus loads of spare wage budget, so we could bump that up even higher if we need to. And of course, it's the Premier League. First season in the Premier League, we are very safe using the never, never, because we've got all that Premier League money coming, haven't we? It's not like the bank balance is a problem. We've got loads of cash, and we're going to get even more coming in very, very soon. So we've got a bunch of youngsters that we're trying to sign. The highlights of this will definitely be Gaspar Castro, who's 6'4" and already a full Argentinian international at 18 years old, to come in and be a new centre-back for us. And I'd also really like to get this, no, not this guy, this guy. Artem Koklov, who's an 18-year-old Ukrainian international, who is apparently already a good Premier League player. He can play in behind the striker or out on that right-hand side. And then we've got some other options that we're looking at as well. I think 5 youngsters, and then we can go and buy some proper players. I think there is a limit in the Premier League. It's been a long time since I've managed in the Premier League. I don't know that I have. Oh, of course, we did on the beta for FM26, but that was months ago. There is a limit to how many foreign under-23s you can bring in, isn't there? I think it's either 5 or 6. So we've got 5 there. We can then potentially do 1 more, and then we can only sign full-size adults anyway. So we've got to be quite picky about the wonder kids we bring in. But those 2 that I've shown you are legitimate wonder kids. The others, a little bit more squad players who will get better with time. These 2 I would expect to come in and get straight into the team. So that's job 1. And then I guess we see how the rest of the summer goes. It's going to take shape based on whether or not Harley leaves. That's the big thing that is really going to have a huge impact on how the rest of the summer works out. So I guess we just need to kind of wait and see what kind of offers we get for him. Where's avoid relegation on here? We're good enough to not be relegated. There you go. They're happy with that. Don't want to talk to them about anything else. Just talk about not being relegated. Preseason start date. I want them back as close to free transfer day as possible. Training camp destination. We'll go. No, we're not going to go to the northwest of England. That's where we already are. We'll go to Switzerland, hopefully Geneva. I would like to have some Lake Geneva perch. It's my favourite fish. But yeah, let's see how the summer pans out as we prepare for being a Premier League team. In fact, there you go. It's starting very well because we're already getting wonder kid number 1. Artem Koklov is in. 18 years old as well, so he will become homegrown at club. So that's 1 job done. 17.5 million is the total value of the deal. We're only paying like 5 million of that up front. And we're also hopefully going to be getting Gaspar Castro as well. He's off to get his work permit. He's already got a full cap for Argentina. If he doesn't get a work permit, the work permit system is fundamentally flawed, and I'll be writing a letter to my MP. So fingers crossed it won't come to that. Well, our shiny new boys are in, and as you can see, some of them are good and one of them's rubbish, apparently. Let's start with the good ones. So Gaspar Castro is our new 6'4" centre-back. He's got 2 caps for Argentina now, still only 18, so will become homegrown at club. 3 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. He is the the 6th best centre-back at the club. The other Castro we brought in is apparently the 2nd best. So let's go and check in on him. So we have another Castro, Luis Carlos Castro. He's only 5'10", so we're going to turn him into a fullback. He's accomplished at both left back and right back. What is it with me and short centre-backs at the moment? But he's already 3 stars of current ability, another one with 5 stars of potential. He comes in from FLA. Having played lots of football matches for them. The best of the lot is another legitimate wonder kid. So I think Castro was a wonder kid. Yeah, those 2 are actual legitimate wonder kids. So Koklov is the other one, 18-year-old Ukrainian international attacking midfielder. So we're going to have to battle with Tyjon, and I think he's probably going to win the battle because he's already considered a leading Premier League player. He's actually better than Rob Harley and 2 years younger. So that's a nice signing to be able to make. He's come in for quite a lot of money. We've paid £17.5 million for him, but looks worth every penny. We've also got Vadim Volkov, who's a 19-year-old Russian midfielder with 4.5 stars of potential. And then lastly, the one the board are not at all impressed with, Leonardo Gurgel, who's a 6'2" Brazilian right winger. He's 19. 2.5 stars of current ability, means he's the 7th best right winger we've got, and he's got 5 stars of potential. Even with those 5 young players coming in, we have still got £20 million left to spend. If we have a look to see what it does to the squad depth, it definitely improves it, doesn't it? And now we're just cherry picking the best players and the best deals. I think we definitely need a goalkeeper. We probably need a left winger. What we'd really like to do is be able to offer Rob Harley a contract, but we've already messed it up twice. His agent keeps trying to insist on a £33 million release clause, which we have no interest in doing. He's got 3 years left on his current deal, and his current deal doesn't have a release clause. So there's no way we're adding in a release clause. So I need to be able to discuss with his agent before offering him another contract and get his agent to agree not to have any stuff locked in before the negotiation starts. But his agent isn't talking to me at the moment because we've messed it up twice already. So hopefully we don't get a big offer for him that he wants to, that turns his head before then. Because at the moment he is willing to discuss terms. It's just those terms he is insisting on having the release clause on there, which obviously we don't want. Right, let's just see, based on those signings, what the game thinks our best 11 is. I mean, it's basic. That can't be right. That's got Jude McRobbie in it. Let's clear the squad and try that again. Pick best 11. It's not picking a best 11. It's because they're all on holiday. It can't pick anything at the moment. So we're in mystery land until we get to July. But I suspect if I had to pick it myself, what a horrible world this would be. It's Mr. Tickle currently. And then at right back, it probably Stojanovic is going to have to move out to right back, I think, this season. Left back, Rivard. And then at centre back, we go Graf and Castro. Where's Castro? Has he become invisible? He was on the other side. So we can put Castro that side, but not this side, apparently. I don't understand. So that's probably our best back 4 currently. And then in midfield, I think it's probably still Tingy there. And Armstrong, I guess, there. That's definitely an area that needs strengthening. And then on the right, see, this is where we've got to fit the new boy in. So we could potentially move Tyjon out to the left-hand side. So I think we go Harley, Koklov, Tyjon, Higgins. I think that's our best 11 currently. And then we've got some pretty strong backups as well. So there's not an obvious area we need to upgrade, aside maybe from goalkeeper. I think we're allowed one more under 21 foreign player. Although, I don't know if these have gone on last. If these have gone on last season, we might still be allowed another 5 or 6. Because it's still last season currently. So we might just keep trying to sign youngsters until the game doesn't let me do it anymore. At this point, I've genuinely lost count. Is this our fourth or fifth goalkeeper we've signed at Blackburn in 18 months? But James Beadle is in. He's 6'7", and that's all I needed to know. He's got 3.5 stars of current ability. Yes, he's 30 years old, but he's better than anyone we've got at the moment. He's never played a game in the Premier League. We're not going to hold that against him. He comes straight in as our best goalkeeper. And I think that's job done there. If we sell Charles, we can have Young and Mr. Tickle as our backups. Pizarro will hopefully move on as well. And then we just need to continue filling up the other gaps. This is a good thing. We have signed another legitimate wonder kid. This one was wanted by Man City, Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea. Alan Inglis, 19-year-old Scottish midfielder or attacking midfielder. We're going to try and teach him to play as our deep-lying playmaker because we don't need him further forward and we don't play with a central midfielder. But he's got 3 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. He comes in from Hearts for £15 million. Obviously, the vast majority of it on the Never Never. And if we see how he slots in, he would be well down the list there. But we want him to play there. So we need to get him training to do that ASAP. And I can never remember how you get into training on this game. It's very, very confusing. Right, hold on. We'll go this way. Is this the way? There must be a quicker route to get into training. But where is he? Inglis. And we want him to learn to be a deep-lying playmaker. Yes, take control of his individual training. And there you go, get him being a defensive midfielder. Happy days. Well, we've made it to the 1st of July. We've made a couple more signings as well. If we jump over here, we have Arthur Vermeeren, now 30 years old, but still better than any central midfielder that we have. He can slot in there as our experienced leader in central midfield. He's been at Lens for the last several years, previously played in the Premier League for Leicester for a couple of seasons. He's been around a bit. We're familiar with his work. And then we also signed another central midfielder. There he is, Dusan Vujicic, who's a 24-year-old Serbian international, 3 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential. And I suspect the two of them will be our starting central midfield partnership going forward. So if we try again to get the game to pick our best 11, it still might not work because I think they're still on holiday. No, there you go. It can do it now. So this is where the game is suggesting we sit currently. So Beadle as the new goalkeeper. Tingy, now he's not needed in midfield, moves into the back four, which actually probably isn't the worst thing in the world because he's actually a little bit taller at 6'2". He's a normal sized man. I think we need proper fullbacks. So that's probably the next job. And then it looks like the game AI thinks Wang keeps his spot and Tyjon drops out of the team to make room for Koklov. Not sure I agree. Can we discuss a contract with Rob Harley's agent yet? We cannot. I am worried that this is going to go on too long and we're going to end up losing him because I don't want to risk losing him, which is going to be frustrating. But even with all the transfer business we've done so far, we still have £17 million to spend. We do have to shuffle some of it round into the wage budget, but actually there's quite a few players we need to try and shift now that loans have ended. So we're probably going to try and force some people out of the club first and then do another round of signings. If there is anybody any good available for a free transfer, I'm not afraid to make a move for free transfer players. I just suspect the quality of them isn't likely to be what we're looking for necessarily. We don't need another attacking midfielder. We don't need another attacking midfielder. Let's not get distracted by exciting free transfers. Let's sell some players. Well, now we have the problem escalating slightly. It's still not a crisis, but Harley is now asking for a new contract. I've promised him a new contract, but I still can't convince his agent or talk to his agent to have the release clause taken out. So now if I don't give him a new contract, he'll get annoyed and then I'll never be able to give him a new contract. But if I do give him a new contract, we're going to have to include a release clause. And I don't know what the right answer is. Unless, of course, he's changed his mind. No, it's still in there. I mean, it's gone up to 61 million. So you know what? It was 33 million before. I'm less worried about a 61 million pound release clause because if he goes for 61 million, then fair enough. I think we'll do that to keep him happy. And then hopefully 6 months' time, no one's paid the 61 million, and then we can have another chat with his agent. We've kicked it down the road a little bit, but if he signs that means he's not going anywhere this summer, and that is crucially important. So short term first, we'll worry about later down the line later. In other news, we have got so many offers in for our fringy players. If we have a look at the outgoing transfer activity, we have got some money coming in if all those transfers go through. So there should be another round of spending coming soon. Maybe that £61 million offer isn't impossible to come in, but once he's signed the contract, he won't agree to go anyway. So we just need nobody to come in and offer him. We need that contract signing, and we need it signing urgently. In the meantime, we've brought in another midfielder. William Zita he's everything I've ever wanted. He is a big, strong boy and comes straight in as our best defensive midfielder, which is jolly nice. And I think with the signings we've made in central midfield, it's now a huge strength of the squad. I think now we need some fullbacks, maybe a left winger. We don't need another goalkeeper. I've got to stop buying goalkeepers. Okay, now I know I said I didn't need another goalkeeper, but he became available. So we've signed another goalkeeper. I think, what is this, 6 goalkeepers in 18 months now since we've been here? I think I've got one that's going to last me a little while now. He's definitely Premier League quality. He does make Mr. Tickle like 3rd, 4th choice. There's lots of other transfers that have been going on as well. Let me show you what we've been up to. Let's just shuffle that around, and I can it's been a window. There's business going all over the place. So if we start with the players that have left, lots of fringe players. We don't need to focus in too much on them. Caleb Okoli has gone to Mallorca. We sold like our 5th choice keeper to Paris Saint-Germain, which was an odd one. Bulatovic, who came in January, he's gone out on loan to Olympiacos. He barely ever played. Adamu, who we signed last year, we've sold him. He barely ever played. Martin Palermo, who, by the way, still has 5 stars of potential. He's got out to now Championship McDonald's. So he might actually still end up good. I still have hope. Pierce Charles, one of the many goalkeepers we've signed over the last year. We've sold him for 9 million, so we made a massive profit on him. So all this goalkeeper trading, we are the goalkeeper factory, and we keep making profits on them. On that topic, Theodore Pizarro, another goalkeeper we signed, we've made a profit on. He's gone to Young Boys for £3.7 million. And we also sold Matthew Young to Arsenal. Again, making a profit on him. So you might think I'm mental what I'm doing with goalkeepers. We're literally keeping the club financially afloat with goalkeepers. Grant Thompson has gone to Al Jazeera for 3.8 million. We took a massive loss on him. I'm not so good with strikers, and I do think we probably need another striker. We'll get onto that in a minute. I think that is bizarrely becoming a weak point in the squad. Lucien Mahovo has gone to Wolves for £9.5 million. That's a good piece of business. So basically, we've brought in £34.5 million, and we've invested that in some more quality. Obviously, you saw that we brought in the 3 midfielders. We've now signed a left back, Emiliano Halili, which is why we sold Mahovo. Very similar player, an inside wing back, basically the same profile, just faster. 3 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential. 22 years old. Very happy to have him in. We've then added to our wonderkid quotient. Matthew Agnelli is a legitimate, or Angeli, I guess he is actually. He's a French wonder kid, 19 years old, already got an international cap for France. He's got 4 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. I don't know how we've got him, but we've got him. So he's come in for 17.5 million. We've also brought in Malcolm Yang, who is 30 years old, 6'3", can play centre back and right back, 46 caps for Sweden. Just an experienced top level player. Previously been at Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and played lots of international football, and at only 30 and still very tall. Just seemed like for £3 million, someone we'd like to have around. And then, of course, you saw that we brought in Restes, who can be here for the next 5 years now. 7 caps for France. And the squad and the team are all starting to look very, very good. In goal, we've got Restes, 6'7" Beadle as a backup, Mr. Tickle as a backup. They both think they're first choice. I don't know where they've got that idea from. Left back, we've got Castro, who we brought in, who's really a centre back, but we want him to play full back. Rivard, who of course has been playing there all of last season, Yang, who can play there, and then Halili, who's just come in. So we've got plenty of options at left back. Right back, we've got Angeli, who's the best one, Stojanovic, Castro, Hogsberg, loads of other players can play there. We've just offered Hogsberg out because I don't think we need him anymore. He's on quite a lot of money for someone we're just not going to use. Stojanovic we will use, and he's still only 23. Hogsberg's 29. It's a different scenario entirely. We probably also don't need this guy anymore because we've signed sufficient fullbacks. So let's try and generate some more money, try and move him on. We've got other business we still want to do. So is anyone going to take him? Can we get rid of you anyway, anyhow? Try and get rid of him. Centre back, we've got Tingy, we've got Big Castro and Little Castro, plus Graf, plus Yang, plus Stojanovic. Which is why Hogsberg can probably move on in midfield. Vermeeren, Vujicic and Zita. Tingy can still play there. We've still got Armstrong and Costello. We've got Hector, who we brought in last season, and now we probably don't need, but he's only 23, so I don't mind keeping him around for a little bit longer. Up front is where I question what we've got. Obviously, Harley might become a striker. It's been his natural position since he first came through the youth team at Wigan, and he has now started scoring goals. So maybe Harley will be our striker this season. But if it's Higgins, we don't really have a backup. We want to get rid of Maminovich. We've already sold Thompson with a view to bringing in another striker. So I think that is the plan, bring in another striker. Right-hand side, obviously it could be Harley, it could be Rabaj, it could be Koklov, Mbappe. Jude McRobbie's going out on loan to Nuremberg. Again, still got loads of potential. We want to go and get him some game time. On the left-hand side, Farah still has huge potential, still very young. So he's definitely a good option for us on the left-hand side. And we've got multiple other players who can cover there. Still got Wang here, for example. So I think the squad is very, very solid. I don't know how the media are viewing us. If we have a look at the season preview, we are expected to avoid relegation, 17th place. So that's good. We've spent £160 million with the highest spenders in the Premier League. We're doing promotion properly, and we are going to try and properly establish ourselves. We've got a whole bunch of wonder kids and some decent experience around them. I think this squad is really taking shape nicely. It's still only mid-July. The season doesn't start for nearly a month. There's not a huge amount more business we're going to do or can do, but maybe a striker. And I've got my eye on one. And there is the striker that we had our eyes on, Charlie Fordham, 25-year-old English striker. The reason I wanted him is because he's also natural on the left wing, so we could use him out there if Higgins can cut it in the Premier League. But he had an active relegation release clause at Watford. They paid £31 million to bring him in from Southampton last summer. He didn't score loads of goals last year, but he got 19 goals in the Championship the year before. He's definitely my kind of striker. Nice and quick, 6 feet tall, and can play in multiple positions. He's not the only new signing we've made. If we go to our transfer history, we've also brought in Jake Evans, who can basically do the same thing on the other side. Brought in primarily to play on the right, but can also cover up front. Less my kind of striker because he's so little, but he is even faster. He's 3.5 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential. He joins us permanently next summer. We've got him on loan for now. Joins us permanently for £7 million next summer. Regardless, it's already a confirmed deal. It was really just a piece of accounting shenanigans to make sure we could get both of them. And then to fund it all, Cameron Fairhurst has gone out on loan. This hasn't funded it, but we had a £6 million offer from Manchester City for him. So I think we've got another superstar youngster on our hands, but he's gone out on loan for this season. We've also loaned out a couple of the new boys. So Little Castro has gone out on loan to Hoffenheim, who he's already made his debut for. Also, Volkov has gone out on loan to St Johnstone. They've both got 5 stars of potential, but weren't going to play for us this season, at least as starters. So we may as well get them some game time. Hogsberg's gone to Copenhagen. They've given us £7 million for that loan, which went towards the transfer for Fordham. And Harrison Armstrong, who was like the 6th choice midfielder, has joined Granada for £12.75 million. All of which means we are pretty much spent up, but our squad is looking very, very strong. Restes, Beadle and Mr. Tickle as our 3 goalkeepers. Rajvad, Yeng and Halili as our 3 left-backs. Angeli, Stojanovic and, either Rajvad or Gurgle could cover there if need be. Hopefully neither of them will have to, but Angeli will be the starter. Stojanovic can cover, and then at centre-back, it will be Big Castro. And then with either Tingy, Graf, Yeng, Stojanovic, any of them could play there. Defensive midfield is our playmaker. It'll be Vermeeren. And then we've got options to cover. Costello's still only 21, 22 years old. And then as our enforcer in there, it'll be Vujicic or potentially Nzita. And we've still got Graf and Tingy and Hector who can all play in there as well. On the left, it could be Evans, it could be Harley, it could be Fordham, it could be Farah, it could be Wang. So many options. On the right, it'll probably be Harley, but it could be Evans. Higgins can play out there if he doesn't score goals. Rabaj can cover out there. Attacking midfield, it probably won't be Harley. He'll be in one of the other attacking positions. Coquelin will probably start there. We've obviously still got Tyjon as well. We've got Rabaj, who was very good when he deputised there last year. And Mbappe can still cover in both of those positions. And then up front, we'll probably start with Higgins. It might end up becoming Harley. Fordham's here, Evans is here, Tyjon's here, Mominovic is still here, and we're trying to get rid of him. But so many options. The game thinks this is our best 11 now, which I'm probably not going to argue with too strongly. The season starts in 5 days against Manchester United. I don't imagine us doing any more transfers now, unless we find an absolute bargain. There you go. We did find a bargain. Abakar Silla, 32-year-old Ivorian international, 6'2" centre-back, 3.5 stars of current ability, lots of experience playing in the French league. And just another solid, very, very solid physical centre-back. He'll come straight into the team for our first game of the season against Manchester United, which will be in tomorrow's episode. I know sometimes, and probably from this season on, we usually do the whole transfer window in the transfer episode these days, but I think you've got to see our first games of the series in the Premier League, haven't you? So the media think 16th now, we're moving up in the world. And this, I think, is going to be the team that takes on Manchester United tomorrow. It'll be Restes in goal, a back 4 of Rajvad, Silla, Tingy and Angeli, Vujicic and Nzita in midfield, and then Fordham on the left, Coquelin and Evans on the right, and Rob Harley up front. Obviously, though, the front 3 in particular can be used pretty interchangeably. Any of them can play centre forward, any of them can play on the left wing, and 2 of them can play on the right wing. So we start in this shape. It could easily move away from that shape if it doesn't really work. But this one gets everyone in natural positions. So Fordham's natural on the left. Evans is natural on the right. Harley is only natural at centre forward. So maybe he starts banging in goals as a striker. If he doesn't, we've still got Higgins on the bench to come on. And what a strong bench. Beadle, who we signed to be first choice keeper. Graf was virtually ever present last year. Vermeeren. We've got a lot of good central midfielders now. Higgins was top scorer for the last forever years. Stojanovic was a regular starter last year. Farah was brilliant. Tyjon's been one of our best players forever. We've got Big Castro on there. Costello was our captain until we appointed Harley as new club captain as part of my ongoing trying to keep him here forever thing. So Rob Harley at 20 years old is club captain of Blackburn Rovers and surely on the verge of an England call-up at this point. You would think if he starts life in the Premier League well, he should be playing for England by Christmas, I would expect. So fingers crossed we start the season well with a win against Manchester United. If we don't, it's a disaster because we spent quite a lot of money in the end. Where's the confirmation? We spent 109 million pounds. I mean, it was only a net spend of 60 million. So yes, it might look on the face of it like I've abused the never, but actually we got a 40 million pound budget and we've only spent 60. So it's actually not even that disastrous. So we'll see how we get on tomorrow, I guess. Feel free to leave your predictions down in the comments for where we're going to finish this season. I genuinely think that squad is now so good, we've got a chance of qualifying for Europe first season, because everyone's going to underestimate us with a newly promoted team. I think we're going to cause a few shocks. Man United and Liverpool both at home early on. We could beat both of them and just go for it. Wouldn't that be bonkers? But if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.